Okay, good morning to all of you. Are you able to?
Morning.
Yeah,
Good morning, doctor.
good morning. So today we are going to have another topic, and I have in mind to give a brief outline about the how to properly conduct the research. Okay, for that I am preparing some slides. We'll discuss in the coming classes. But to go with the our course content, there are the two things we have to discuss during the entire interaction session. One is the practical aspect, how to implement, how to conduct, how to do the carry out the research. Another is the theoretical understanding of the research. In your course outline, there is a focus on the theoretical part more compared to the practical aspects. But we are going to cover both in this classes, online classes. Okay. So that carrying out research, how to carry out research, what kind of resources you required, how to approach to your supervisor, or how to manage your life during this time. That all things we'll discuss, some guidelines, some insight about that one in the coming classes. Today we are going to discuss the one important aspect of the research, that is the research design, right? So, yeah, someone is coming here. Let us start with that topic. Research design is a blueprint, you can say, or a plan for the research, how you are going to conduct your research. So, if you go for the definition of this, the different scientists, authors, philosophers have given the different definition, but that is going to converge to a point that a well-detailed, comprehensive plan about each and everything, how we are going to decide about the utilization of the resources, how we are going to define your problem, all things is going to make your research design component complete. You know that in any thesis or master thesis, you are supposed to have another chapter, that is research methodology. And in that chapter, you are going to discuss about your research design, how you are going to design your research. So, if you see this definition, you can read out like a research design is a plan or a structure and a strategy of the investigation, how we are going to do the investigation. And for what? To obtain the answer to the research questions. When you are defining the research problem comes along with some research questions you are going to address, right? So you have to find the answer of that research questions or that problem to solve. So it includes an outline. Outline means a sort of the body or a sort of the structure, how you are going to do. Like in the case of the presentation, we give the outline, how we are going to proceed, which topic we are going to include, what should be discussed in the particular presentation. Generally, the presenter give it at the initial stage, as a first slide or second slide of their presentation. Same thing with the research. You are going to decide about a plan, a structure. That is known as the research design. Thayer said that a traditional research design is a blueprint or detailed plan for how a research study is to be completed. How you are going to complete your research study. The different steps you are going to list out. There should be some correlation between that one, some predecessor, some successor steps. Like you can't do the data analysis before collecting the data. That means data analysis will always come as the successor to the data collection step. So that has to be keep in mind to make a good research design. Miller says the planned sequence of the entire process involved with the conducting a research study. You have to give the sequence, in which sequence you are going to work to solve the research problem. Problem already defined by you. When you are going to select an area, after that you are going to select a topic. Without knowing the what kind of problem you are going to solve, you cannot be sure about your topic. Okay? So these are some of the definition of the research design. Further, we can explain it like research design, the conceptual structure within which research is conducted. It constitutes the blueprint for the collection, measurement, and analysis of data in each kind of the research, whether that is exploratory, descriptive, experimental, review, meta-analysis. There are so many kind of the research. So any kind of research you're going to do, there should be some collection of the data. You need data. Like hello, are you able to see the slides?
Yeah,
Yes,
doctor.
doctor.
Hello,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, there was some disturbance, internet connection problem that I lost the connection for the 1 or 2 minutes. No problem. We can continue. So we are discussing about the research design. So you can say that this is a sort of the plan you're going to make. There is a lot of the similarity between the research proposal and the research design. In proposal also you are going to give the all the details how you are going to conduct your research. And for the master thesis, first document you are going to submit after the submission of your topic. In the next semester, when you are going to start your master thesis, first thing you are required to give a topic to the department. Not one topic, they will ask for the 2-3 topics from your side. So you should have in your mind that you should give the 3 topics. Then the department graduate committee will look upon the topic, and they will decide about your supervisor who is going to supervise that, generally related to their expertise area, right? So start thinking about that, what 3 topics you are going to provide. After you give the topic, one topic will be finalized, and that should be informed to you. Okay, you can pursue this topic for further research, and then the department will ask for your research proposal. In research proposal, you are going to mention about how we are going to carry the research, what tools, what methodology, what literature review, all things you require to submit. Even the budgeting, expenditure, what should be the outcome, expected outcome, like this. On the basis of the receiving the research proposal, department will also guide you, or the whosoever your supervisor will be, till that time supervisor will be decided. He will help you to modify the research proposal in a better way, in a acceptable form that should be accepted. So research design is sort of, not exactly, but some sort of the same thing. Like, if you want more difference. What is? I'll share some document like this one. This, after reading this, you can get the clear idea about what is the difference. There is very minor difference between the research design and the research proposal. And before making that one, you should have a checklist what to check. Okay, we'll discuss later on. So coming back to our presentation. So research design provides the backbone structure of the study. It joins the different component of a study together. I already talked about the sequence. So there should be a sequence should be followed. Each thing will come in the sequence. There may be some flexibility, but flexibility in terms of the methods, in terms of the analysis, you can use the different tools, you can combine the different tools like that one. There you have the flexibility. But the major steps will be remain same for any research study. Other division can be the research design refer to the researcher overall plan. What is your overall plan? How we are going to conduct? To answer or solve the research problem, research questions. Or if you are going to have some sort of the new hypothesis, you want to test that, okay, if I'm going to increase the speed, let's say, if I'm going to increase the speed in the turning operation, surface finish will be improved. This is my hypothesis. Already I told that whenever you're going to discuss the hypothesis come in this kind of a statement. If this is happening, then that will happen. That means one is there are two variables. There may be more than two, but for timing, let's say there are two variables. One is the independent variable, one is the dependent variable. Here in case of the example of the turning operation, we are taking speed as the independent variable. That means we can increase or decrease the speed depending upon the availability of the how many speed is available in the particular machine. And we are analyzing the dependent variable is the, let's say, surface finish. How surface finish is going to affected by the speed. And let's say initially we have assumed that an assumption or a guess. What is the hypothesis? A assumption or any guess you are going to make, right? So we have assumed that, okay, increasing the speed will enhance the surface finish. Now to test that one, what you have to do? You have to conduct the experiment at the different speed. Lower speed, medium speed, higher speed, very high speed. And same time you are going to observe the surface roughness, measure the surface roughness, and see if there is any correlation between these two. If that is going to confirm your initial guess or hypothesis, then that hypothesis will be accepted, right? So you are going to test the hypothesis, any statement you are going to decide. Okay. So this is all about the research design, basic concept. Okay. Now, what are the different elements you have to consider when you are going to design your research? What is the different element? To answer that, we have some questions to ask ourselves, like what is the study about which you are going to study? Let's say I'm going to say that I want to study about the surface finish during the turning operation. My focus is the surface finish. Then I have to find out the different how the surface finish or surface roughness is going to affected during the turning operation. What are the different parameters that can affect? All information is required, right? So first you have to know what is the study about which thing you are going to make the study, why the study being made, why this study is required, how this is significant, how that is going to affect the theoretical knowledge, how it will be applicable. All that question has to be in your mind. That is going to justify your study. That is going to make your study more meaningful. If there should be some contribution you are going to make to body of knowledge that is not known to other people, that should be your contribution. That should be the new thing. That's why the study, if you're going to do the some study that is already there, that someone has done, already there is a result. That means you are going to replicate that one. Nothing new is going to come out of that one. And there will be no need to do the same kind of a study using the same parameters and all things, right? So there should be something new. Either process should be new, material should be new, methodology should be new, something out of way that is not done earlier you are going to do, right? Then you have to decide about where will the study be carried out. Are you going to carry in the particular lab, your manufacturing technology lab, or some industry? If the facility is not available here, you are going to collaborate with some industry, or some study or the research data survey or something like that one. So from where you're going to collect the data, how you're going to, so where you're going to carry your research, that question you are going to ask for designing of the research or research design. That should be integral part. From these questions, you're going to get a lot of answers that should be helpful for preparing a document, research design document, preparing a timeline, a plan for your research, right? So where will the study will be carried out? In some industry, in lab, in some other university, you are going to collaborate. That can be anywhere. Okay. Then you are going to ask the question. These questions comes once you decide about which you are going to study, what is your topic, what research problem you are going to solve. Then this question comes: what type of data is required to solve the problem, research problem? What kind of data you require? If I want to know let's say for example, if I want to know the effect of input parameter on the output parameter in any machining operation or any experiment, what can I do? I will vary the input parameter and see how that is going to affect the output. So in that case, I need the input data as well as the output data. Sometimes data may be the primary data, may be the secondary data. If you are going to collect it by yourself, by observing some phenomena, that kind of data is the primary data. Sometimes people rely upon the secondary data. Already data is somewhere in the repository and you are going to take out that data and doing the analysis. That kind of data will be known as the secondary data, tertiary data, like that one. But you can get the better result, better contribution by using the primary data, especially in the experimental research. And most of you are going to do the experiment-based research in the manufacturing area, right? So our focus will be in this course to discuss in detail the different type of the experimental research, design of experiment, how to do that one, and some sort of the data analysis tool. Okay, that will come later on. Then where can the required data be found? how you are going to acquire the data, primary data, secondary data, whatever that may be. For primary data, you have to conduct the experiment and then measure that one. From there, you can get the required data. For secondary data, you can go for the some sources, and from there you can get that one. The next question is, what period of time will the study include? From when to where? What timeline are you going to follow? That's easy to answer in your case, because your research is going to be 1 year research. You're starting in the next semester, or you can say third semester, and that is going to conclude in the fourth semester. Total, you have the 1 year of the time. So you can take that as the period of time the study include. What will be the sample design? If you are going to do the some sampling, in experimentation also, we do the sampling. We don't go for the all sort of the experiments. There will be another topic or another class discussion on the sample design. Okay, so we'll discuss this in detail at that time. What techniques of the data collection will be used? There are different techniques of the data collection. Like you can go for the experimentation, collect the data, input, output. That is another. Some people do some research work in the field by doing the interviews with the experts, asking their opinion. On that basis, whatever opinion they are going to get, that is the data for them for the further analysis. Some people use the questionnaire, prepare the questionnaire. You want to know the effect or the effect of the particular policy, let's say lean manufacturing techniques, how much applicable or how much profitable in a particular organization. You go and distribute the questionnaire to people, and they will give their opinion about the different aspects of that lean manufacturing techniques, how that is improving their day-to-day operations, and altogether how profitable or beneficial to the particular entity, organizations, or company. How will the data be analyzed? Which analysis tool you are going to use? What kind of the analysis you are going to do? In our case, engineering, basically we go for a statistical analysis using the different kind of the test, t-test, student t-test, f-test, z-test. There are so many. Depending upon the research question, what we want to get out of that one, we select that tool. How data should be analyzed on the basis of what kind of question we have, what question has to be solved, and what tools can give the proper answer to that. And finally, once you get the data analyzed, you have the result out of that one. That result has to be published. Generally, people first published in some journal or the conference paper or etc. And finally, for your requirement, you are going to submit a thesis at the end of your master research to the department and defend your thesis. For that, you have to appear for a presentation. Right? I forgot to tell that for the research proposal also, you are supposed to give a presentation. Okay. So there will be at least 2 presentations you are supposed to give to the department. One is the research proposal. One is for the research proposal, another for the final defense. If the evaluation committee agrees that, okay, your work is able or you justify, your work is going to justify all the criteria required for the master thesis study, you will be given some grades. There may be excellent, good, very good, whatever that may be. And your study will be completed. So finally, you have to prepare a report. Report preparation may be in the different style. Each university has the different styles or recommendation. If I have the document, let me see. I'll share it to you. You may have that one. What is the requirement of our university? Let me. Research guidelines. Okay, just wait for 1 minute. I have to find out somewhere I have kept it. Just wait for 1 minute. I'm downloading that one. So, okay, let me show you. If you are able to see this, this is the
Yes.
yeah, this is the sort of the thesis, how your thesis should be. This is the cover page, okay. On the cover page, this much information should be there. And there should be declaration. After that, approval form in this way. Then you should have the table of contents that describe all the things. There should be 3 parts in a thesis, right? In a thesis, there are 3 parts. Let's say, first part is known as the prefix. Second part is known as the main body. And third part is known as the suffix or appendixes. Or appendices, right? In first part, prefix part, generally numbered at page numbering is in the Roman, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like this one. Main body numbered the Arabic numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is no number required for the suffix part. In prefix part, we have all the approval form, abstract, declaration, table of content, list of figures, or table, like this one. Main body start with your chapter 1. Chapter 1, that is introduction. Then chapter 2 will be literature review. Chapter 3 will be research methodology or research design, that we are discussing. Research methods or research design. Chapter 4 will be conduct of the experiment or whatever that may be, right? Experimentation or something. Chapter 4 will be, or data collection will be here when you're conducting the experiment. Okay. Chapter 5 will be data analysis and result. And chapter 6 will be conclusion and future research direction. After this, chapter 6, that is whole body, then come the suffix part. Or in this one, chapter 6, after that, you are going to write the references, the document, the article you have used for that one. We discuss in detail all the components, how to prepare. Okay, don't worry about. Just I'm giving a brief overview. After that, you are going to the suffix part or appendage. In appendix, you are going to provide the supporting document. Like if you use some questionnaire to collect the data, that should come in the appendix part. That should not be part of the main body, not the main document. If you are using some sort of the forms or some sort of the tables, let's say probability table or some table, some data, that should be given in the appendix part. So I think you understand what should be a structure of a thesis. Okay. So now here you can see table of content, chapter 1 introduction, chapter 2 literature review, right? And so on. There all things are explained here, how to write a statement of problem, objective. Some examples are given. When you're going to write the objective, that should start with the to select or to analyze, to identify, like that kind of. Yeah, could be Akele.
Okay, thank you, sir. My question is on suffix part or an appendix part. Most of the time when we design, if the research is concerned about designing a machine, there is a detail and assembled drawings, as exploded drawings and other stuffs. Are they should include on appendix or they have their own chapter?
If your drawing is not going into a very large component, some drawings, no doubt, you have to provide in your main chapters, main drawings. But you are going for the detailed drawing or each and every exploded view or like that one, that can be included in the appendix, because a lot of drawing is going to distract the readers from the main objective or main content. Okay. So we don't want that kind of distraction reading the thesis. There should be focus on our objective, to how we solve the problem, right? So one or two drawing, that is the main drawing, you can give in the main thesis, and remaining can be referred as the appendices. Like in the thesis, you can write the detailed drawing of this particular each attached as the appendix 1.5 or 1. Whatever that may be, appendix number you are going to give, right? I hope you understand. Have you got my point?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So in introduction, we have the background, the statement of problem, objectives. In the same order, you are going to write in your thesis. Okay. Significance, delimitation or scope of the research, limitation, review the related literature, if you are going to include that one, or there should be another chapter on the literature review, right? Then materials and the method, research methodology is another chapter you have. Then data collection and experimental analysis, that should be the another chapter, chapter 4, data collection and analysis. Okay. Then you have the conclusion and recommendation. If you are going to include the data collection and experimental analysis in the same, then your result and discussion will be another chapter. And after that, finally, conclusion and recommendation or future research direction you are going to include. After that, there should be references. The style of the reference in which we are going to include is given here. There are different types of the styles. We discuss about that the style, how to include, what are the different styles available. And there are some software tools, EndNote, etc. How to use that one. We can have the demo class upon that one. Yeah, Solomon, take your question, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question from the designing of research, there is a timely. It says that what the period of time will be included for the study. Is there a circumference for? Is there a circumference time for one research? I mean, we can how to forecast the time?
You have to give the estimate of the time. Okay, how much time that will be required. In research, you can't be sure about the exact time, anytime. Research is nothing that is well known to us, okay? But in your case, There's a specific time limit. Already I told you that. You don't have more than 2 semesters to complete your research. So you have to select the topic. Already I told you, during the selection of topic, time is a criteria. You have to consider the time limit you have so that you can complete that kind of research in the given time. Okay? Anything else you want to ask?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So you have to include the references also, and then comes these are how to include the reference. For the book you are going to write like this one, for edited chapter like this one. There should be different type of the resources or material you are going to include as a reference. You are going to do the literature review on the different type, like if that is the journal paper, journal articles, that should be cited or referred like that way. If that is the book, we are going to follow this style. If you're going to include the thesis or other dissertation, that should be reference of that should be written like this one, unpublished material. For each kind of things with the different styles. Electronic citation like this one. Okay. So all things given in this book. If you want, I can send this copy to you through Telegram or okay. So that this is the requirement of our university. FTBT earlier, but now that becomes the ETU. Okay. Then come the appendices, right at the last. As this is showing less than 1 minute time, and I have a lot to. Okay, in the next class we'll discuss. Other, you will get the paper specification and formatting. How much margin have to keep? What kind of paper should be? Generally, A4 side paper should be used for the thesis preparation, paper like this one. Okay, so you can get all the formats. Here is the procedure, submission and examination of thesis. All things are mentioned here. Once you go through this document, you can get a great idea about how your thesis is going to be evaluated, how that should be submitted, what is the role of the internal examiner, external examiner, what is the role of the supervisor, like all the things. Okay, what kind of decision will you make? That may be accept without modification, accept with the minor modification, accept major modification, pending or rejected. This can be the result of your final thesis presentation, submission. This is the decisions or result of your project. Okay, so I will send this. We can go in the detail about this one. Okay, now coming back to where we are discussing